Justine Bateman defends Zachary Levi after Laura Benanti attempted to cancel him. All right, let's look at this. Badger, if you would.
Yeah. Do you want it? This is this whole thing is just reading everything that she says about him. But if you want Justine's, if you go down to the bottom, it has a screen capture of her response to all of this.
Let's
right
look
there.
at this.
That's
if you would read it.
Yeah. Justine Bateman, she says, I've heard of that Zachary Levi. However, I've never heard of Laura Benanti. The era of attacking past co-stars as a means to impress the judges at the Victim Olympics is over. It does not result in more work. In fact, it simply telegraphs one's capacity to torpedo projects, past, present, and future. And I don't know one film, series, or play producer who wants that anywhere near their projects.
Wow, good for her.
Bingo. Justine Bateman coming in with a common sense take.
Spot on.
About, because I saw the clip with Laura Benanti. She says in Variety, I never liked him. Everyone was like, he's so great. And I was like, no, he's not. He's sucking up all the effing energy in the room. He wants to mansplain everybody's part to them. They did a play together, apparently. It sounds like she went on to say, because I saw the actual clip, she talks about how he was like, let's have a dance party. He was like very enthusiastic. And if you don't want to participate, just maybe bug out.
It seems politics based too, because I don't know what you can say about stuff with Koof and jabs and all that. But basically, they had someone die young, and he was suggesting it was maybe because he was forced to get certain procedures in order to continue. It was very sudden, and she was like, "Oh, and he's faking tears and all that." But really, it just seems like she's virtue signaling. That's what Justine is pointing out. This is just a sloppy virtue signal of like, "Look, I'm on the right team. I don't avow him or whatever. I disavow," and it's obvious. And like she says, it telegraphs your ability to do this.
She also overestimates her popularity amongst the general public. I mean, she's very well known in the Broadway community, but for us movie people, we know her as the mom from No Hard Feelings.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
didn't know who this woman was.
I had no idea who she was.
Yeah, I was curious as to why Variety even put out an article or story talking about this whole situation in the first place. It seems like now they're coming after Zach. So does somebody have something negative that they want to say about Zach Levi because of his political stances, X, Y, and Z? All right, let's hear from you. Because like this is such a nothing burger of a story anyway. And now it just seems like it's here to fuel the flames of hate towards this one particular actor. That's how it comes off to me anyway, because I don't understand why they even bother. There's probably a million stories like this in Hollywood that happen all the time if you really want to talk about it. So like, why this particular actor? Why
because
Zach
he's so
Levi?
well known. That's why he's a huge actor. He's a huge name, and he came out for the wrong team.
Yeah,
that's why.
That's why. Yeah. So it's like Justine says, it's like, it's supposed to be, hey, whatever went on the set behind closed doors, that's where it stays. We're not going to let all our dirty laundry out there. And it seems like this chick, Laura, is one of those people that, they'll go out and run their mouths, and, possibly, ruin your project, before you even get it started, because
she sounds resentful too.
I want to tell you everything that Zach Levi was saying behind closed doors. And that's like, come on, man. Nobody want to hear all of that.
Well, and Zach
me like she has no idea who her co-star really is.
She's basically saying that he's an overly optimistic person, and that's why she hates him.
Yeah,
that's
and it sounds to me like she doesn't know, even though she performed with him and worked with him, she has no idea who he is, because if she did, then she would have seen this coming. Like even I saw this coming, him backing Trump, because he came out for RFK, and even before then, if you look at his Instagram and follow all of his posts, he's a very based actor.
She thinks he's a Christian grifter, and she goes on a rant saying that, like, oh, he'll be able to go into the Christian film industry that's super strong. I'm assuming like him and Dean Cain are going to be the superstars or something. It sounded like she was upset that he's making money that she's not making. Really, all he did was like not lie anymore and say his beliefs.
Well, also
and he is making a Christian movie next. So.
But the thing about Zachary Levi, and I find this interesting that he made 2 franchise pictures in terms of Shazam. The first one did okay, and the second one didn't do very well. Now that's if you're an actor and you have that opportunity at a major studio to create a character in a comic book franchise and it doesn't work, the same thing happened to Armie Hammer when he made Lone Ranger. You know, they were trying to make him happen before his troubles, and that movie was a spectacular failure. That's difficult for an actor to deal with. You know, and here he is. They worked Laura and him worked on, I think it was Broadway. They were on stage together, weren't they?
Yeah.
So they're on stage. That's a whole different vibe. And here's a guy. I mean, Zachary Levi he was Chuck, right? And he had a great television career, made a lot of money. He's probably a big charismatic guy. And what she said, leave it to creative differences. That's what you say, creative differences. That's the catchphrase the industry uses. For her to come out, the question is, why would you go out and attack a fellow performer? I mean, she doesn't say he's abusive. He doesn't say he sucks the air out of the fucking room. Okay.
Virtue signal.
And and I find that such a strange criticism.
But right before that, she said everyone likes him, which is funny, right? So she's already saying that he's likable. She's just the bitch.
And Chuck, he was the lead. You set the tone, so he was just trying to set the tone.
It's such a weird thing to come out and say this publicly. Like, why would you? And in terms of faith-based movies, Angel Studios is not a bad studio to be in business with. They're making the best faith-based movies that have been made. You know, and whether that's your thing or not. What is it, Bonhoeffer? Was that the movie that they did?
Yes.
that they had Bonhoeffer come out about a Christian pastor who was also a spy, and they've made some interesting stuff. They were the company behind the child trafficking film that they sold it to Fox, then Fox sold it back.
Sound of Freedom.
That was an Angel Studios project. I mean, it's such a strange thing that we have whether you like the Daily Wire or not. Somebody brought up Brett Cooper. The Daily Wire is they've already started to distribute movies. And in terms of the business of cinema, you know, why would you slam on, if somebody wants to make faith-based movies, that's a genre. The same way that horror is a genre, the same way that erotic thrillers are a genre. And if you want to work for a faith-based studio, go right ahead. If they're stepping up their game and they're making better movies and they're serving an audience, I mean, what is wrong with that? Why wouldn't you want to get in business with people that are making product?
Well, Zach already said that when he first endorsed Trump, that he said that they were going to come after him, and he was right. And we all knew that they were going to do that. You know, you have Whoopi Goldberg going to be talking about Hollywood doesn't do that. We don't go after people because get out of here.
Well, they were already attacking him because he endorsed RFK Jr. first.
Right. So
he was already being attacked.
Right. He already knew that this was going to happen. Right. Yeah. We're going to see this at least for the next couple of years, right? I think it is going to die out, especially now with the culture being different. But no, Justine was totally right. What this woman was doing was basically trying to placate to the higher beings in Hollywood that she's still on the team.
Yep.
That team has been swept off the field.
He's too great. He's too nice. Everyone likes him. He's too happy.
He fooled them, Steph. He fooled them with his positive.
You know, I wonder if she's saying that because he's too likable. He's too happy. People like him, and that's a bad thing because.
But he's also paid his dues,
and he might have that influence over the people who are liking him. So that's a
you're right. Yeah,
I agree with you totally.
No, you pointed out, Robert. He came in as a show lead on Chuck. He was setting the tone every day for the shooting. If your lead is a piece of shit and hates his job, it's probably not fun to show up for work for 14 or 15 hours. But if you're positive and get going and you're keeping the energy high for a live performance, probably pretty grateful for Zach to be around. And that's why she was a no fun boo. And now she's upset and virtue signaling about it.
But the thing is, as pretentious as Hollywood is, guys, Broadway is 1,000 times more pretentious. And so you know, people are probably praising her for what she said about Zachary Levi. Unfortunately, at least in the Broadway.
That's what I was wondering. Where is she getting the plaudits from? Okay, so it's coming from Broadway because I sure as hell don't think it's coming from Hollywood. You know, I don't understand.
She's very well known. She's very popular in Broadway circles.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I get it. Now I get it.
But was the work they did together good? Like, she might have not liked him, but is the play that they worked on together or the show they worked on together, was it good? Was it well reviewed?
Yeah, it's one of those overly optimistic musicals too. You know, Boy Meets Girl. You know, that's kind of.
I mean, show business is full of people. you know, when Richard Gere and Deborah Winger worked together on Officer and a Gentleman, and that movie was a huge hit, and everyone loved the erotic spark between the two of them. They hated each other when they made that movie.
Yeah.
And it still worked. What matters is the work.
Rob, I've been accused of being overly optimistic. I think maybe you've had the same accusation, but Zachary, I always thought he was well liked. You remember going to Comic-Con? He, with his own money, would get together sponsors, put together an event that was open to the public.
Yeah, Nerd HQ.
It was Nerd HQ for people who could not get into Comic-Con. He did this big event. It was a party. You could get on the list. It was not.
Dude, it was a good time, man.
It was not.
I used to love those parties.
Anyway.
So,
yeah.
Do you remember that, Rob? Like, it's just like, it's weird that he would get that. He was very much, I don't know. I always thought he was a good guy. I mean, I don't like everything he does, but whatever. I think the moves are all right.
Said it right. You said it right there. He was popular until until he supported Trump.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'd love to get Clifton on the show, you know, at some point. Love to do that.
With all that said, though, I really do hope that his career isn't in trouble. I hope he gets lots of work. I hope that I hope Hollywood makes their change and just, you know, accepts people for who they are and takes this guy who is talented, who is well known, who does have a name, and is a generally good guy. I hope he gets work, man. I hope he doesn't get punished. I kind of feel like he will, but
he's trying to. It seems like he's trying to get away from Hollywood and try to do his own thing. It seems like it from the stuff that I've read off of his you know, his posts that he puts up. It's like it's time for us to move and create maybe an alternative or something like that. So it seems like
he's doing that. What is it called? Geek? I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, he is doing
so it's like that's honestly
he's
that's
for investors. You know. That's what he's looking for.
Yeah, just get away from Hollywood.